It is the beginning of the XFL playoffs, and the excitement couldn't be any higher. This is the rubber match. The battle-tested St. Louis Battlehawks go up against the DC Defenders for the third time this season. The playoff bracket has taken shape. Only 4 teams remain to have the right to be called champion. The New York Guardians' playoff plans were thwarted last week when the Battlehawks defeated the Defenders. The groundwork of Matt Jones led St. Louis to the 10-3 victory. Teyamo will need to have a better game than his 3-pick performance in order for his team to make it to the championship. The Defenders have thrived off of their defense and QB1 Cardell Jones. He led them to a #1 seed. Can he help lead them to the promised land? 10 weeks of XFL football has come down to the final 3 games of the year. St. Louis Battlehawks, DC Defenders. This is the XFL playoffs on the Last Life Gaming Network. We have finally made it, ladies and gentlemen. We are here. This is the XFL playoffs. I am excited, as you can tell. There is the kick, and we have started our first semifinal game of the weekend. The DC Defenders are hosting the St. Louis Battlehawks, and this one should be an absolute goodie. Washington brings the ball out to the 23-yard line, and out comes who I just mentioned before, QB1 Cardell Jones, who had a less than stellar performance against the Battlehawks only 1 week ago. In a unique turn of events, the teams that played each other last week are playing each other this week in the playoffs. The New York Guardians controlled their own fate. They had a chance to seal their playoff spot with a victory. All they had to do was beat the Vipers, and they failed to do so. St. Louis took care of business, and through the tiebreakers, the first tiebreaker was a head-to-head. They split that. The second was net touchdowns throughout the season. St. Louis won that one with a +1 to a -5. And here we are, the DC Defenders at home, the #1 seed for the East, is taking on the #2 seed, St. Louis Battlehawks, and they are starting off well with 2 stops to have them at 3rd and 6 at the DC 27-yard line. Now, the main factors for each team, of course for DC, is going to be Cardell Jones and his top receiver, Raymond Berry. And for St. Louis, it'll be Jordan Teyamo, this stifling defense that I believe only held DC to 3 points last week. Great defense there, and we have a 3-and-out. So good start so far for the
Desire, baby, desire.
Good start for the Battlehawks. The good thing I love about these playoffs is there's only 4 teams that make it. We're not going to have a long, drawn-out playoffs to see who's going to make it to the championship game. We have literally 2 games to determine who will be playing for the championship. Now, I saw a lot of predictions being made in the chat. And if you are in the chat, welcome. My name is Bravo33. This is the XFL playoffs on the Last Life Gaming Network. Woodyard tries to get away from a few defenders, gets to the 40-yard line. Great start for St. Louis. Good start for them here. And here comes Teyamo for his first drive of the playoffs. I mean, the excitement, I'm at a fever pitch here. I'm kind of like stumbling over my words. I feel like I'm a little extra hyped today because this is it. This is what we've been working for, guys. We started taking over for the XFL Week 6 because due to coronavirus, they had to stop. Oh, there's a shovel pass. Stopped behind the line for 2 yards. Good defense by the Defenders. 2nd and 12. The XFL had to cease all operations during Week 5 due to the coronavirus. Here at the Last Life Gaming Network, we decided to take over broadcast purposes through the All-Pro Football 2K8 video game on the Xbox 360. It has been a wild ride, some ups and downs, some unpredictable things have happened in this season. But here we are, the final 4 teams that are left to play for the right to be called champion are here. The first 2 are up. You're looking at them, DC in the red, St. Louis in the blue, the white and blue, we'll say. And in my opinion, any of these 4 teams can represent their respective side in the championship. St. Louis just beat DC 10-3 last week. Houston has been on a slide, and they're playing LA, the first team that beat them all season long. So I'm excited to see exactly how these playoffs turn out. Now it's a nice day right now in DC. It was in the forecast earlier for rain, but midway through the day, the rain has let up. So the rain has let up here in DC. We have no bad weather. Houston, on the other hand, tomorrow, it's looking like no matter what, we are going to get some rainfall. So it might be a sloppy game tomorrow. I mean, it's April. It happens, right? April showers bring May flowers. So it is what it is. But, like I said, I absolutely cannot wait to see the outcomes of these games. Right now, both teams have swapped 3 and outs. Neither team is able to get a first down. You can call this a feeling out process, but these guys aren't new to each other. Both teams have they've played each other twice. DC took the first game. St. Louis took the second one.
Right here, boys. Eye jokers, weak talks. Break.
St. Louis needed that win in Week 10 in order to be here today. They needed to win with New York losing, and they did it. They got the job done. They picked up the 5th win of the season in order to get them to the playoffs. They're at 5-5. DC's at 6-4. There's the snap. Toss to Pittman up to the left side of the field. He tries to fight forward for a few yards, gets right back to the line of scrimmage, stopped by Warwick Barber. 2nd and 10 for the DC defenders. So, like I said, the entire second half of the season, we took over the reins here at the Last Light Gaming Network. It has been a fun ride. If you are just joining us for the first time, welcome. Please take a seat, grab yourself a beer, get yourself some chips, some nachos, some chicken wings, anything you want. Popcorn, whatever gets you comfortable, whatever comfort food you like, and be sure to stick around and watch the show. Toss the berry on the right-hand side of the field. Goes for a decent gain. Now we have a 3rd and short, a manageable 3rd down for the DC defenders with 6:46 to go in the quarter. I mean, I have had absolute fun calling these games. It's kind of bittersweet. We're only, after this game, 2 games away from crowning a champion and calling this season a done deal. Cardell Jones finds Berry over the middle, lands right at the logo. 1st and 10 at the DC 49-yard line, right at midfield. And right now, DC is looking pretty decent as they are picking up their first down of the day. I believe Berry would have gotten away if that defender behind him wasn't there. The referee takes a spill. Ref, you got to get out the way, man. I don't know what to say. These are some big dudes running amok all over the field, and you're sitting here trying to do the best you can. Get out of the way, man. What's wrong with you? Offset I formation for DC. 2 wide receivers at the top of your screen. There is the snap. Cardell has dropped back. He is looking over the middle once again. Hits the hands of Willie Washington. Dropped though. 2nd and 10 for DC. So if you're wondering, if you're new here, I'm going to treat everybody as you're new. I know there's some guys that have been here, guys like B&C Tournaments, guys like Attila Y2K, Ed Palmer, Philly, I can always forget his name, Philly Game Fan, something like that. A lot of those guys will be here week in, week out. A lot of guys from the Reddit community have come out and showed love. We appreciate every single one of you. Pittman hurdles over a man, only picks up about a yard or 2, 3rd and 8 for DC. But if you're brand new, this is the XFL playoffs. This is our first game of the weekend. This is the only game today. The next game will be tomorrow on Sunday at 3 p.m. in Houston. Houston will take on the LA Wildcats to take on and the winner of that game will take on the winner of this game here to crown the XFL champion. Single back set for Cardell Jones. He drops back, takes a deep drop back, finds a man open. It is, I believe that's Willie Washington redeeming himself on that one. 1st and 10, but he is taking a while to get up. He tried to get up and he clutched his ribs. It doesn't look good. We're gonna take our time here because this looks serious. Cardell's down on one knee. Let's see what happened here. Oh, it just seems like he was driven into the ground awkward and he tried to maybe he landed on the ball. Hopefully it's nothing serious. Hopefully it's something like the wind getting knocked out of him and
1st and 10.
He'll be back in this game.
36-yard line.
You don't want to see that. I mean, this is the first playoff game and already we have an injury and it's to one of one of DC's key receivers, the slot receiver, Willie Washington. Swing pass out to Tyrone Carpenter. He leans forward and gets 7 yards on the play. 2nd and 3 for DC. They are moving this ball well right now in this drive. As we're approaching the 5-minute mark in the first quarter, the DC defenders are looking like the DC defenders, man. They're looking like the team that has had pretty much a stranglehold on the #1 spot since day one. There were some parts of the season where they had some ups and downs. It did not look good. But since the Jones Bowl, when it was DC versus Dallas, and that's another first down for DC, since the Jones Bowl, Cardell Jones versus Landry Jones, the defenders have been on the up and up. They've dropped a couple games, but still, they've looked good enough to be the #1 seed, and that is exactly what they are.
26 yards.
All they have to do is take care of business, and they will be playing in the XFL championship game. There is the snap. Cardell drops back, looking towards the right side. It is complete. Complete pass to Barry Jenkins on the completion. 2nd and 7. He only picks up 3 on that one, but hey, positive yards are better than no yards or negative yards. So here we go. 2nd and 7. And Cardell Jones and company are going to have to capitalize on this drive. They've had such a good drive. They don't want to leave with 3. You got to leave. You got to make an impression. You want to leave with 6. You got to score a touchdown here. Split back formation, shotgun set for the DC defenders. There is the snap. Ball is high. It is a draw play to Pittman. Pittman powers up. Powers forward. Picks up a 3 yards on that one. 3rd and 4 for DC with just under 4 minutes to go in the quarter. Now, I know we've done predictions. Everybody's been saying usually it's going to be DC versus Houston. I've seen DC versus LA. I've predicted that it's going to be DC versus LA because of how hot Los Angeles has been in recent weeks. They've been the hottest team, 6th win in a row. Almost intercepted there. Warwick Barber got his paws on it. And Ortiz cleaned up the receiver. I think that was the intended receiver was Barry. So we will have a field goal opportunity here. And if all goes right, this will be a 37-yard attempt. 4th and 4. It's unfortunate that they're not getting 6 on this one, but hey, points is points at this point. Wow. Points is points at this point. That's a tongue twister. Points is points at this point. I guess it's not that big of a tongue twister. Anyway, 9 seconds left to go on the play clock. Let's see how they take care of this here. There's a snap. Good hold. Kick is up. Kick is good. 3-0 ball game, and DC strikes first. If you're a Defender fan, if you're this home crowd here, you are enjoying what you see in front of you. Your DC team is taking care of business. They put points on the board, and just like I said, from here on out, every down counts. As soon as this game started, every down counts because every down you got to play like it's your last. You don't want to be that team at the end of the game that's losing and you're regretting everything you've done. So handle your business early in the game. Make sure that you take care of business. You make it do what it do. And before you know it, you're walking away with a victory. And it is a trip to the XFL championship for you. Washington. So, all right, this is one of those teams that have 2 Willie Washingtons. There's 2 Willie Washingtons, both kick return, both slot receivers for these teams. Didn't realize that till now. But 1 Willie Washington, the Willie Washington for DC, is out of the game right now. He might have just gotten the wind knocked out of him. We're still waiting on word to see what happened. But he was slow to get up, and he didn't get up at all. There's a snap for Te'amu. It is a handoff to Matt Jones. He's got a lead blocker. He shakes off one man, shakes off another man, gets down, takes about 4 guys to bring down Matt Jones. Gets to the 38-yard line. One hell of a run for one of the top backs in this league. I mean, let's take a look at this run here. It was just simple handoff on the shotgun set. It easily shrugs off one guy, takes another guy out. It takes 2 guys there, so that's a total of 4 men that hit Matt Jones, and they still couldn't bring him down. That's the kind of running you want from your running back in a playoff game. You want him playing the best that they can to the best of their ability. So here they go. 1st and 10, I-form set, everything's close. DC looks like they are ready to stop this run, but it's a pass, swings it out to Matt Jones. Spin move gets him nowhere. Stopped at the 40-yard line. 2nd and 8 with just under 2.5 minutes to go in this quarter. Now this quarter has gone pretty quick, I feel. Like, if you guys have been watching, it's been a very quick first quarter. We're almost done with the first quarter altogether, and it's only a 3-0 ball game. This game's been going quick. Before you know it, we'll be in the fourth. Talking about, man, where'd the time go? Hand off to Matt Jones again. Tries to spin, unsuccessful, but gets a good amount of yards, and we're looking at 3rd and 3. Now this is the type of game plan that the Battlehawks would want. Start off with Matt Jones, running his football.
That's all we need. Then let's get that first.
Just doing what he does, making it easier for Teyamu. Last week, despite the fact that St. Louis won, Teyamu threw 3 interceptions. I really have no idea how DC didn't win that game. They just couldn't capitalize. The St. Louis defense at home was just too much. Oh, there goes Teyamu throwing again in double coverage. Oh, and it's nearly caught. He got his hand. The tight end, Jeff Schaefer. Great effort by Schaefer. I'm telling you, these guys realize the importance of this game. I got to see what happens here because he makes the catch. The ball hits the ground on the way down, and he wasn't able to secure the football. So with that, we have a 4th and 3, and unfortunately, St. Louis is going to have to punt the ball away.
Oh, here I come, kicker! Here I come! Here I come!
There is the snap. They are going to punt it back to DC. And this is a good one. It goes all the way inside of the 20. And that must be Waswa Edmonds on the return. With a minute 20 to go, DC will start their 3rd drive of the game at their own 23-yard line.
What's wrong with you?
DC
Digging on this series, fellas.
DC can easily put themselves into a good position here with a score. It is 3-0. If they get a score here, it'll be a 10-0 ball game, and they will put the pressure back on St. Louis. Shotgun set for Cardell Jones. There is the snap. He drops back, looking downfield, finds a man across the middle. That is, I believe, Jenkins. Yep, that is Barry Jenkins with the catch, and Willie Washington is done for the rest of the season. Fractured arm. He will not. That is tough. You are one win away from making it to the championship. You're doing your part, and you break your arm, and you're going to have to watch on the sideline. Tough break for Willie Washington, but we know that the DC defenders will step up, and they will win this ball game for him. There is the snap. He drops back deep. Pass is caught. I believe that went to the tight end, Ebenezer Conrad. Mr. Reliable is what we'll call him. And I think they gave him a 1st down on that one. I mean, he just bounced off of one guy and then took a whole lot of shoulder from the next guy. I think that was, if I'm not mistaken, that was Jeff Brown on the tackle there. But 1st and 10 for the defenders. And the most important thing is they're picking up 1st downs. We're steadily approaching the end of this first quarter. Pittman tries to run up to the left side. Only picks up a yard, 2nd and 9, and that will most likely be the last play of the quarter. Man, I'm telling you, this quarter went by fast. We are here. We are already at the 2nd quarter of this game, and I'm telling you, if St. Louis doesn't shape up, before you know it, they're going to be looking at the 4th quarter like, man, where'd the time go? And that will do it for the first quarter. DC leads 3-0. And the
2nd and 9.
And the defenders have the ball. They just flip sides, but they have the ball at their own 34-yard line with plenty of time to go to pick up a score. Low snap for Cardell Jones, forces it to throw it late, to Ebenezer Conrad. 3rd and 7 now. Really didn't get that much on the pickup, but they are still moving the football the way they want to move this football. Let's see what they do here on this 3rd and long situation. St. Louis has come out ready for the pass. It looks like they are in the dime set. 4 wide for DC with Pittman flanked to his left. Him being Cardell Jones. That man is calling audible. Looks like he sees something that he does not like, so he wants to change the play up. There's a snap. He is looking downfield, steps up, dumps it to Pittman as he's hit. Pittman does not go anywhere but a yard in advance. 4th and 6, and DC will be throwing the ball away. Great pressure by the Battlehawks. This is what they did all game long last week to give them the 10-3 victory. This is the same amount of points that DC scored all game last week.
Don't let him get that point.
So if St. Louis can do what they did last week, they will be waltzing into the championship game. Punt is away to Woodyard. He gets it at the 25-yard line. Tries to spin away from one. Gets stopped at about the 31-yard line. And we have 1st and 10. Let's see if Teyamu and Matt Jones can make something happen on this drive and pick up some points. Because more importantly, that is what they need if they're going to win this game. You've got to score points. That's how the game of football works. First and 10 for the Battlehawks, and Teyamu is in the gun, and Matt Jones flanked to his right. Believe that they might bring the run. It looks like DC is ready. They do not. There is the snap. He is looking to his left. It is complete to his tight end, Kyrie Bluefield, who's got plenty of space. Picks up beautiful yardage on that one, down to the DC 46-yard line. And let's take a look at the replay on this one. I mean, he just hits the out route. The linebacker was never ready. Teyamu hits him right on the break. That's a great throw by the QB. And it doesn't get touched until the secondary gets him. And that's not good when Mike Little, your free safety, is the first guy to touch the tight end. But, hey, great stuff for if you're a Battlehawks fan. You've got 1st and 10 in DC territory. Now is the time to make something happen. 8.5 minutes to go in this game. Let's see what they can do before the half. I mean, there's plenty of time, don't get me wrong. Toss left to Matt Jones. Matt Jones gets met at the line of scrimmage. Stopped. None of that is happening here. 2nd and 10 for St. Louis.
2nd and 10.
Teyamu's going to have to continue to do it with his arm because I don't believe the defenders are going to allow Matt Jones to run amok this game. I think they're going to try their best to keep him at bay. Shotgun set too wide at the bottom of your screen. There is the snap. Teyamu is looking downfield. Swings it to the left side. That goes to his fullback, Drayton Luke. And Luke is stopped right at the line of scrimmage again. None of that is happening here. 3rd and 10
Just give it up.
for the Battlehawks.
Just pack it up and go home.
I believe that's Jody Ramirez, the middle linebacker for the DC defenders. He is the anchor of this defense. He is showing out. He's mic'd up today. He wants to talk his smack. That ball is nearly intercepted. I am telling you, Teyamu, that great stop by Hakeem there, but Teyamu has a habit of throwing some errant passes that cost his team dearly. Tough break there after picking up the 1st down. They're going to not get any further than the 46-yard line. The good news is that Todd Boston has a chance to pin them deep, and they're going to play a little bit of hashtag FPF. Let's go chat. Hashtag FPF field position football. There's the snap. Punt is up. And what I say, it's looking good. Oh, but it bounces into the end zone. DC gets a break there. They will start at their own 20-yard line. Man, this crowd is at a fever pitch. They are here to root on their defenders. They've got to believe that if they bring all their might, that their team will do the same, and it'll help propel them into a championship. There is the snap. Cardell Jones is looking downfield, swings it out to the fullback. It looks like it's going to be a fullback kind of day. That's the 2nd touch for Tyrone Carpenter, and Drayton Luke has already had a touch, so that's 3 touches for fullbacks combined today, and we are only 13 minutes into this ball game. So if they're, like I said, when I saw LA playing in the rain, I saw them trying to distribute the ball to a lot of their receivers. It seems like a lot of these teams are adapting the same thing and are not afraid to spread the ball out to some of their other players. Shotgun set, Cardell Jones with a delay that goes no way. It's a no way delay because ain't no way that anything is happening here. I don't even know if that makes sense. But stop by the Battlehawks way behind the line of scrimmage. I mean, the pulling guard did nothing. Even if the first man didn't get him, the second man was right there. Good stop by the Battlehawks, and that is what keeps the Battlehawks in games. Very rarely do they get blown out. I think they took a 30-point loss to LA. LA was just clicking on all cylinders. But for the most part, St. Louis is always in a football game. With just over 6 minutes to go in this game, DC still only leads it 3-0. There is a snap by Cardell Jones. He pump fakes, goes over the middle. It is caught by Jenkins. Jenkins is coming up huge today. I think that's his second or third catch of the day, and he is alleviating the pressure off of Berry, which of course St. Louis is going to key on. He is the top receiver for DC, but what a throw. He put the ball only where Jenkins can get it. The outstretched hands of Jenkins were getting smacked from behind by the defender. I believe that was the strong safety, Shad Marlborough, and he was able to reel it in and give his team a first down. So 1st and 10 at the DC 39. Shotgun set for Cardell Jones. He's got two running backs flanked to each side. There is a snap. He's looking towards the left again, and who's he get it to? None other than Raymond Berry. 3-yard completion, 2nd and 7 for the defenders. There's a shot of Berry there. He has had an outstanding season, being the WR1 for the QB1, Cardell Jones. Another guy who's been doing well is Pittman. He doesn't have a great game every game, but he does not quit, and he continues to fight the good fight. St. Louis is ready for the run. It is a toss play to Pittman, left side, and he has nowhere to go. Stop for a loss. 3rd and 9 for the DC defenders, and we're getting close to the halfway point of this quarter. So we'll be 5 minutes away from halftime.
It's gonna be quads, 90 slant, stop. Stay.
And the longer that this game is a 3-0 game, the more important every single down would be. The closer that these games are, every down will become more important. So this is an important 3rd and 9 with 4:45 to go in the quarter. Let's see what DC will do here. There's a snap. Cardell Jones throws the out route, finds his man, but he doesn't get enough. 3-yard gain, 4th and 6 for the defenders. And they're going to be punting this ball away, let's be honest. But Barry Jenkins is the bright spot of this offense so far of this half. The man has been playing well. I think that, again, that was his 3rd or 4th catch. I cannot wait to see what they will do with him in the second half. There is the snap. The punt is up. The punt is away. Law is kicking to Woodyard. Woodyard with the reception, tries to beat the man, but at least he gets over the 20, down to the 22-yard line.
First and 10 from the Hawks.
With 4:10 to go in this quarter, if the Battlehawks come out of this half with a goose egg, that will be demoralizing. That'll be just morale killing, because you don't want to be in your first playoff game as a franchise and come out with a big fat donut going into the halftime show. That is a toss. I believe that again was to the fullback. I'm not sure. Oh, nope. That was to, let's see, one of the million guys who wear 86. I'm going to guess that's to Brian. Nope, that looks like it was to Randall Parks. But he gets the first down before he is pushed out of bounds. So 1st and 10 with 4:05 to go in this quarter. I-form set. There is the snap for Teyamu. He takes a quick drop back, swings it out to his left. Matt Jones shakes off the first guy. Cannot shake the other. 2nd and 3 for the Battlehawks. And if need be, they need to pick up a first down here. Hand this ball off to Jones. Let Jones run amok. Let's see if you can get some big yardage before the half is over, and at least have a chance to put up 3. But it looks like they're in a passive formation, and yet again, the offensive gurus, quote unquote, that run the XFL do not listen to me at all. Shotgun set. There is a snap. Teyamu is looking. He runs out of time. Wrestled down for a sack. 3rd and 7 now. Let's see if they can overcome and get themselves some points on the board before the half is over.
3rd and 7 from
Empty set for the Battlehawks. Teyamo will go at it alone back there. There is the snap. He is looking downfield still. Throws it short. It will be stopped short. 4 yards to be exact. 4th and 4 for the Battlehawks. They're going to be punting this ball away again. Boston is back to punt. Let's see if again he can take this advantage of pinning his opponent deep or putting him in a coffin. There's a snap. It's a good punt. The Gunners are getting down there quickly. He's corralled at the 25-yard line. Stopped really quick. Joshua Edmonds had a chance, but he had nowhere to go.
All right, great coverage, guys.
And Blake had something to say about it, of course. Can you fault him?
1st and 10.
Both teams are playing inspiring football. The fact that it's only a 3-0 game shows you that this game is a desperate need win for both teams because each team wants to go to the championship. There is a snap on the offset eye. He swings it out left. Pittman, who gets a block and then gets mollywopped for his trouble. Gain of 9, 2nd and 1 for Pittman and the defenders.
2-minute warning.
But there you have it. 2-minute warning. DC still leads it 3-0. This is the XFL on the Last Life Gaming Network. If you are just tuning in, welcome. You're probably like, what the heck am I watching?
Keep it into the right spot, and I'm gonna find you. Wow, that's my boy.
Well, if you can't tell by the watermarks, this is the XFL on Last Life Gaming Network. We've decided to continue the season due to the coronavirus. And we said, no, there's no way that we're going to let this be suspended. And here we are. It is the XFL playoffs. DC's taking on St. Louis. If DC wins, they will face the winner of Houston, LA next week on Sunday at 3 p.m. Now, if LA wins, if LA wins, LA will host the championship in LA. They have the better record. If Houston wins, DC or St. Louis will go on to take on either one of those teams. It's a very weird scenario. Hard for me to tell exactly because we don't even have one win determined yet. Call another audible. It's Cardell Jones in the offset eye. We have just under 2 minutes to go. They got to make something work here. Toss to Pittman, who gets a first down on the play. What an effort by Pittman. Great run. 1st and 10 at the DC 40-yard line. There's a shot of Berry. Let's see if we can make something happen here with we approaching the 1.5 minute mark. We are getting closer and closer to the end of the half, and teams making adjustments to try and pick up a victory. Pick up a victory to make it to next week. Because right now it's win or go fishing. A handoff to Carpenter. I am telling you, it has been fullback week this week. Both teams are trying to incorporate their fullback in different ways. And I appreciate it. They are the unsung heroes of football. Cardell Jones throws it to only where his man can get it, low and towards the logo. 1st and 10 for the defenders. They are in St. Louis territory. Under a minute to go. There is the snap. There's another toss over the middle of the Berry. Berry shakes, almost shakes the guy off. It's tackled down at the 29-yard line. 45 seconds to go in this game. Let's see exactly what they're going to do here. There is the snap. It is a swing pass out to the left side. He stays in bounds, forcing the defenders to call their first timeout of the game.
Listen up. We got gun, split spread, 50x speed over. All out here. Break.
So I didn't get all that language, but it's definitely a pass play, and it seems like there will be some crossing routes in it. So stay tuned. Let's see if I'm right here. Shotgun set. There is the snap. It is low again. Cardell fires over the middle. It is caught. Oh! All he had to do was fall backwards, and he scored. But for some reason, he wanted to turn upfield. What a throw. If he just fell forward, That's 6. But for some reason, he went the other route, tried to turn around, but hey, 32 seconds left. DC has 2 timeouts at their disposal.
Time to make a
They
plan
can
to pass,
definitely...
D. No more good luck.
The Hawks, 2-yard line.
Let's go, D! That's what we stand for!
They can definitely make it happen. Offset I formation, 30 seconds left to go in the game. Cardell Jones swings it out to his running back, Pittman. Pittman is not able to get to the goal line. Gain of 1, but he is knocked out of bounds, which saves DC a timeout. So smart play by DC and company, but to only gain a yard, it kind of sucks. But hey, 27 seconds left to go in the half.
Dig in, fellas. Protect our end zone. Nobody crosses that goal line.
2nd and goal from the Hawks.
It looks like, oh no, it looks like they're playing a little goal line defense that puts about 9 in the box ready to stop the run. They're taking their time. There's a snap, throws it over the gut, and incomplete pass. This is tough. They've had some opportunities to make this a 10-0 game, but here they are, 3rd and goal at St. Louis's 2-yard line. They've got to do something in order to pick up some points here.
3rd and goal.
I-form set for DC. Let's see if they can get a score here on this drive. There is a snap. He is looking, swings it out to the right side. It is caught, but still no first down, no touchdown. 20 seconds left to go in the game, and I'm like mortified to see that
They only need a couple
the DC
years.
defenders weren't
Let's
able
walk
to
it
get a
down,
score.
guys.
Well, it looks like they're going to boot this ball up here to take a 6-0 lead. And hey, 6-0 is better than nothing or being down 6-0. So whatever works for them. There is a snap, good hold, kick is up, kick is good. 6-0 ball game in favor of the defenders. And now it seems like DC is going to kick the ball off to St. Louis, but they're probably going to just concede for this half and just say, you know what, we're all set. There is the kick. Return out to about the 25-yard line.
First and 10 from the Hawks, 25-yard line.
13 seconds to go. Single back set. Tiamo's still looking to throw here. Can he make something happen? That is fumbled? That's got to be an incomplete pass. They've got to review that in the booth. But, I mean, that's such a bang-bang play. That's caught, interception, no way. I'm sorry, fumble. There's no way that anything can happen
We'll review
that
the
quick.
previous play. Whether the
And I'm
player
glad
had
that the
possession
booth is
prior to the
reviewing it.
fumble.
Now, let's see exactly what they see in the booth. The big question is, does he make a football move? And I don't think he does. He never gets to gather himself and bring the ball to him in order to call it a complete pass. Let's see what they
After
say.
review, the play stands. The receiver did not have possession of the ball and is therefore incomplete. Desperado's ball.
They're going to try a field goal here? I can't blame them. That'll be a 47-yard field goal. Let's see if DC can do it. Snap, good hold, kick is up, kick is good. 9-0 ball game in favor of DC. And that is a good start for DC. I mean, they now have a 9-0 lead, and they're going to go into the second half with their heads held high. And it's pretty good for DC. And if you're a DC fan and you've been a DC supporter since day one, there is the kick. It is returnable. There's enough time on the clock, and we will dwindle it down there. Stopped at the 27-yard line. What a half it has been. It is the defenders up 9-0 against the Battlehawks, and we have made it to the halfway break. So please enjoy this halftime show brought to you by Onslaught Multimedia, the creators of the Blast podcast.
Over beats, baby.
And we are back with the second half getting ready to start. There is your shot of the XFL playoffs. The Defenders and the Battlehawks are playing today. Tomorrow we have the Houston Roughnecks and the LA Wildcats going at it. And that will determine who will play in the XFL Championship on Sunday, April 23rd. April 26th, I believe. My numbers are completely off. I'm sitting here winging it. And I was right, April 26th. The XFL Championship will be played at 3 p.m. But let's talk about what we saw at halftime. St. Louis altogether. Well, before we do yards and stats, DC had the luck of the draw. They scored 6 points in 30 seconds. They were able to knock in a field goal, and then they got a turnover on a challenge play, which everybody, and I mean, I thought it was going to be called an incomplete pass, but for some reason they decided to say it was a fumble, which gave DC the ball, and they immediately put it up for 3. So with that, DC took a 9-0 lead. So that's a big momentum shift. And if St. Louis doesn't get something started here, which they do not, Matt Jones gets the carry, and he is stopped 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. And that would be 2nd and 12. If they don't get started here, if they have a 3 and out, they punt this ball away. All the momentum will be on DC's side, and you've got to believe that they're going to just put up another touchdown and be a part of have a very big lead. But let's talk stats. St. Louis had 78 total yards of offense with 6 minutes and 51 seconds in the time of possession. Those were the 2 biggest numbers that stuck out to me. Teyamu gets hit as he is thrown the ball, and now we're looking at a 3rd and long, and it's not looking good for St. Louis. DC, on the other hand, had 162 passing yards alone. They're not really doing well rushing the ball, but passing the ball, they've done phenomenal. 162 passing yards, and they had 13 minutes and 9 seconds of TOP. I mean, that is the recipe for winning. Great defense, possessing the football and moving the ball through the air. There is a snap. Te'amu is throwing the ball deep. It is a wobbler. Incomplete pass. That's tough because his man was open. I know he was under some pressure, but he got it to Parks. Parks, if you get your hands on it, I know it was an ugly one, but you got your hands on it. Catch the damn ball. It's pretty freaking simple, man. You touch the ball, catch it, man. It's all it is. So, just like all St. Louis fans do not want to see here, it is a 3 and out. St. Louis will be punting this ball to DC, and it looks like, if we're playing a little hashtag FPF here, DC is going to have the ball most likely inside of St. Louis territory. There's the punt. It is up. It's a high one. Oh, actually, no, this is a good punt. They receive it at their own 40. They get about 4 yards on the return. Waswa Edmonds there with the return, and I mean, now look at them. They're starting at the 44-yard line, and this is DC's recipe. They play great D on your side of the field. They pin you back. They don't allow you to get started. They take care of business on defense. You punt the ball. They get good field position. They start anywhere past their 35-yard line, and Cardell makes it look easy. Find some men down the field. Before you know it, they're in your red zone, field goal, or touchdown DC. It's worked for them a few times. Today, they have a 9-0 lead. It is a toss right to Pittman, but St. Louis counters with a great stop there. Good stop by Marlborough. He is having a hell of a game. He is the strong safety that has been performing well all season long, and he does not want to see his season end shortly with a loss here. But right now, they've played good enough to not even give up a touchdown to DC. DC has no touchdowns on the day yet. St. Louis and these two teams, St. Louis and DC, always play very well against each other. It's always a low-scoring game. I believe the last game they played was 10-3, and the first game they played each other, it was 15-6. So I didn't expect this to be a high-scoring game, any of these teams to put up buku points. Big throw downfield. What a catch by Raymond Berry, and he is gone. 5 touchdown defenders. I was just saying how well St. Louis does on defense, and they just give up their first score of the day. I mean, this was a good throw. Pinpoint accuracy. He threw it where only Berry could get it. The defender tried his best to knock it down. I think that was Hampton on that one. Yep, that was Tom Hampton. He looked like he was trying to go for the pick. That was a bad decision there. And that turns into 6 points for DC. So DC now has a 15-0 lead. An extra point here will put them up 16-0, and St. Louis is definitely on the ropes. They are going to have to do something now. You always hear me say that, guys. I know if you guys have been watching this broadcast for a while, you guys definitely know. There it is. Kick is up. Kick is good. You've definitely been watching for a while that the St. Louis Battlehawks, that any team that's trailing is said to me that they have to do something now. They've got to get something started, and they have to do something immediately. Nothing's more relatable than that than right now with 8 minutes and 30 seconds to go. St. Louis was held with a big fat goose egg in the first half, and now they just gave up their first touchdown. They're going to have to make something happen here, and we have Washington on the return, brings it out to the 24-yard line. So I know I said I forgot what teams. I think for LA and Houston, they have the same punter. It seems like for St. Louis and DC, they have the same kick returner, Willie Washington, suiting up for both teams. It's a running gag here at the XFL Last Life Gaming Network. And again, here we are. Let's see what Te'amu can do. Shotgun formation. He's got 2 backs flanked to him. Matt Jones is the topmost back that you see to the right of Te'amu. He calls an audible. There is the handoff to Jones. Jones falls forward as he's tackled by 2 men. Pickup of 4. 2nd and 6 for the Battlehawks.
Millard credited with the tackle. Second and 5.
There is another handoff to Matt Jones. Matt Jones falls. Oh, that's a great effort there. I mean, he shook 2 men off. He almost picked up the first down on that play, but he was tripped up and tackled at the 33-yard line. 3rd and 1. You got to believe you go back to to Matt Jones here. Matt Jones is the staple, probably one of the top 2 backs in this league. Top back, without a doubt, is De'Veon Smith. For the Vipers, they had a rough season, but they finished off strong at 4-6. It's another handoff to Jones, and off of the juke, he picks up the first down, barely, but he picked up the first down nonetheless, and that's a good start for St. Louis. You got to get a first down. Granted, it was through the ground on all 3 downs, but still you pick up the yardage. And I mean, that's one key reason why St. Louis finds themselves down 16-0. He only has 8 carries, and we're in this well into the second half. 8 carries for 31 yards. If St. Louis is going to win, they're going to have a balanced attack. Teyamu drops back, swings it out to Jones. I think the MO of St. Louis right now is to try to get the ball to Jones as much as possible. They must have realized that he only had 5 carries to start that game off. But good defense by Kevin Morrison. Knocks them back 5 yards. Great wrap-up. Wrapped him up at around the knees. Didn't allow Matt Jones to get started anywhere. So now that is a loss of 5. So they're going the wrong way. 2nd and 15. You've got to believe on this one that they're going to pass it. DC looks ready for it. They are in the nickel formation. There is the snap. Swings it out to his left. It goes to Matt Jones once again. Matt Jones has touched the ball every single down of this drive. They've had 5 downs. Yep, they converted on 3rd, and 2 downs have passed. 5 downs. He has 5 touches. I understand that adjustments have to be made.
Up. We got good. Straight to the AZ cross. Look alive, baby. Right.
Adjustments have to be done, and one of the adjustments was clearly get Matt Jones the ball. But sometimes you got to explore other options, and he can't be the guy to get the ball every time. So he is out in this play. Teyamu is in the shotgun alone, back there by himself. He's got 3 wide at the top of your screen. There is the snap. Teyamu is looking over the middle. He completes it, and they get a first down on this play. Crucial catch. I believe that was to Brian Taylor. Good catch by Taylor. And now they have a first down. That is the first pass of this drive, and it was a complete one. Right over the middle, and he gets tackled down near the logo. So that was in tight coverage too. So like I said, Teyamu has flashes of greatness, man. The man sometimes plays extremely well, but sometimes his wide receivers let him down or he has bad games. I don't know how they beat DC last week with 3 turnovers, but it was enough for them to have a rematch today. Well, the rubber match. And as Teyamu drops back, he is met in the backfield by the DC defender. That is his first sack of the day. And now it's 2nd and 18. It seems like St. Louis likes to play
we need more
from behind.
Where you been today? Don't worry, man. I'm going to get it turned around.
So now they're at 2nd and 18. You kind of almost have to abandon a run in this situation. But you never know. They might hand this ball off to Jones to try and pick up some yardage. But we'll see what happens here. I-form set. There is the snap. Teyamu drops back. Got a little pressure. Rolls right. Swings it out to Jones, who catches the ball 1 yard behind the line of scrimmage. Just a little too wide on that one, right in front of the DC sideline. Loss of 1, 3rd and 19 now. Now this is a big 3rd and long play. Can Teyamu have a repeat performance of the last 3rd down and get a first down here? But now it's way more yards. It was a 3rd and 12. Now we're talking 3rd and 19. Bunch formation at the top of your screen. Matt Jones is the back to the left of Teyamu. That is at the bottom of your screen. There is the snap. Teyamu is rolling to the right. He's getting pressure from the left. Tries to run. Spins away. Jukes a man. Fumbles the ball. I believe Matt Jones is the one who picks it up. And they only get a yard on the play. And out comes the punt team. And this is not looking good for St. Louis. This is do or die at this point. It's win or go home. It is the XFL playoffs, and you have put up a goose egg through 26 minutes of football. So if you being St. Louis, if you do not get any points in this quarter, you're going to make it a really tall task to make a comeback in the 4th. Waswa Edmond takes the return. They're at the 31-yard line. That is good field position for Cardell Jones and company. The defender's defense has been balling all game and have made life easy for DC, and this is why they're in a comfortable 16-0 lead. If they continue this way, they're going to walk right into the championship game to play the winner of tomorrow's game between the LA Wildcats and the Houston Roughnecks in Houston. 1st and 10, shotgun set for the DC defenders. They will start at the 31-yard line with 3:45 to go in the game. There is a snap. Cardell swings it out to his back. That is Pittman. and Pittman goes absolutely nowhere. So maybe both of these teams had similar adjustments. But before we talk about that, look at that comparison. Cardale Jones with 221 yards passing and a touchdown, while Teyamu only has 67 yards through the third quarter. I mean, that is not going to get the job done in the playoffs. Maybe it's the play calling of St. Louis. They're playing a little timid, but they can't do that now. They can't afford it. They're down 16. It's a outreaching two-possession game if you get those two-point conversions. Snap goes to Cardale. Cardale throws it deep. It is intercepted. Pick City at the hands of St. Louis. Good defense there.
Y'all see that pick? Textbook, baby. Textbook.
Billy Ortiz with Pick City. And now this is big for St. Louis because this is a chance for them to capitalize on this drive right here. They have good field position. They're at the 40-yard line. The pass protection for Teyamu needs to be big on this drive. But first, it looks like they're going to get it started with Matt Jones. They're in an I-form set with one wide receiver at the top of your screen. There's a snap, stretch play to Matt Jones. Spin move, only gets a yard. That defender's defense has been doing good all game, man. It's Mike Little there on the stop. And now it's 2nd and 9, which is not bad, but you got to believe that St. Louis wanted a lot more yards than just one on that play. There they go, shotgun set. You got to believe here that there might be passing the ball, but they might run a draw play or it might be a power handoff. We'll see here. DC is showing blitz, but they drop back in the zone. Teyamu is running with the football, spins away from a tackler, gets brought down by 3 defenders. 1st and 10. Teyamu deciding to use his feet. I mean, his arm doesn't seem to be the solution today. He's only got 67 yards passing at this point.
1st and 10.
So if he's got to use his legs with Matt Jones, then hey, whatever works at this point, because this is the XFL playoffs, and you need to win at any cost possible. 2 minutes to go in the game. Teyamu swings it out left. It is a complete pass. Spin move goes nowhere. Good tackle by the corner for DC. That is Kevin Lane on the stop. But nonetheless, 8-yard gain for the Battlehawks. And now they're cooking with gasoline. They're on DC's 40-yard line. It is 2nd and 2. And if they get the first down here, there'll be yards closer to the red zone. And as long as you get somewhere near field goal range, that's going to be a good look because St. Louis has to put up some kind of score. It's a handoff to Jones. Jones he's not able to get outside. Killian on the stop. Killian was the safety that was up on the play there, and he came up big. You got to be able to block him, Luke. Drayton Luke just ran right by him, and because of that, it wasn't allowing him to spring loose, and one of the offensive linemen had to pick him up. If Luke picked up that assignment, the lineman could have went up to that safety, and Jones would have been gone for 6 with ease. Shotgun set here. 2 wide receivers at the bottom of your screen. DC looks ready for a run. They're playing man defense. Teyamu throws it, and that is picked off on the tip drill. Pick City, Rich Killian, back-to-back defensive stops. He makes a stop on the run and on the 2nd down play. Killian picks it up. I want to see this tip drill here. It was going to be intercepted at first by the linebacker. Kevin Morrison had a chance at it. Couldn't get his hands on it. Killian said, I got you, bro. Don't even worry about it. I got you. I'm going to pick this ball off. We're going the other way. So that is good defense by DC. Tough break for St. Louis, who had probably had the best chance to put up points to this point right here. With 1:05 to go, offset I for DC. This is a Tampa Bay bread and butter formation, but on this drive, they're going to pass. I don't understand why.
Why'd you make that throw?
Just a terrible pass on my part. That's all me.
I don't understand why they would even try that. Just run the ball, get this clock rolling, get into the 4th quarter so you can be minutes closer to winning the ball game. But they try to throw on that down, and they pay for it. Cardale gets hit as he threw the ball, and now it's 2nd and 10. I mean, that's a great QBR that he has, 93.9. He has those 221 yards passing. It probably would be higher. It probably was higher before he threw that pick. But hey, this is where we are. Offset I for the defenders. Toss left to Pittman. Pittman cannot get anywhere. Both teams' run game has not been well. I think Pittman barely has over 20 yards rushing, and Matt Jones is just over 30. But neither team can get really started with the run. Nobody has broke out anything. Nobody has really been intimidating with the ground game, which it hurts St. Louis more because St. Louis relies on Matt Jones to pick up yards. I mean, you saw in that drive where they targeted him, I think, 5 or 6 times before they had to punt it away. And there is a play action roll out for Cardale. He has plenty of time looking for a man, steps up, throws it to the left, but it is outside of the lines. Man, it sucks on that play because he had plenty of time. It was a good design play. It looked like it was good execution, but the ball was thrown just too wide, out of bounds on that one. Incomplete pass, 4th and 14 for the defenders, and they're going to be punting this ball back to St. Louis. I mean, this has been a wacky quarter. The only score was from DC on that pass to Barry, who took it all the way to the house, and then it's been a lot of picks and punts. Pretty much that's it, picks and punts. And here's another one. Looks like it's going to end off the quarter. St. Louis will start at their own 30-yard line with 17 seconds to go. And this has to be, I know I've been saying it, but this has to be the drive where St. Louis gets something done. They need to put up points and put up points quickly.
Man, it's still plenty of time left.
So for Te'amu to say something like that, there's plenty of time left. That means he's got the confidence that his team still has a chance here. They've tried. I think they were losing to Tampa Bay and nearly came back and won that game. I think they only lost by 8 when they were down by 20 some odd points the entire game. Hand off to Matt Jones. He takes it up the gut, picks up 3, and that should end off the quarter. Killian, I mean, look at that stat line. The man has been balling. He's coming up with run support, and he's grounding the air attack of St. Louis, and that is the end of the quarter. DC now leads it 16-0, and this has to be the drive. I keep saying it. This has to be the drive. This has to be the drive. This has to be the drive. If St. Louis gets no points here, call it a ball game, because the way DC's been playing, they're just going to keep taking care of business, and before you know it, those 10 minutes are going to have a 1 gone. It's going to be all zeros, and it'll be DC walking into the championship game with ease. Hand off to Matt Jones. Goes for about 3 yards. 3rd and 4, which is a manageable 3rd down for St. Louis. But they need to convert here. They haven't been converting well. So let's see what they do here. Right, 3rd and 4. Shotgun set for the Battlehawks. They hand it off to Jones, who does not get enough. He is met right before the first down marker. Tough break for St. Louis. Again and again, I've said that they need to convert. It seems like they don't want to drive the football downfield through the air. I think they're not confident in Te'amu right now, and it showed since week 10. I mean, he had those 3 picks. I think they're taking that into consideration. That punt is nearly blocked, but it's off nonetheless. Picked up by Edmonds at about the 23-yard line, and he is stopped immediately. Only gets 2 more yards. Good kick coverage there. So now DC is going to have to make a stop. I'm sorry, actually, that looks like it was Antoine Albright. I think Willie Washington is injured. I keep saying Washington, but Washington got injured earlier in the game and did not get up. I do remember that. It was early in the first quarter. So that's been Antoine Albright on the return, on those punt returns. If St. Louis cannot convert those 3rd downs, and I understand that Te'amu had a tough game last game, but that was last game. You can't take that into consideration, even though you're playing the same opponents. I-form set. Cardell Jones is under center, slings the ball to his left. That is to Tyrone Carpenter. Carpenter picks up a good amount of yards. That is a gain of 9. 2nd and 1 for DC. And again, they pop up that pop-up there. DC has had all the confidence in the world with Cardell, while on the other hand, in the 4th quarter, Te'amu has under 100 yards passing with only 75 yards. It's crazy to me that they're even considering that. They don't want to throw the ball with Te'amu. Hand off goes to Pittman. Pittman gets stopped before the first down marker. In there was a defensive lineman. That was Howard Flemings, and the linebacker, inside linebacker Warwick Barber on the stop. That's good defense by the front 7, not allowing him to get the first down. So now we have a 3rd and 2. DC's got options. They can run a play action. They could hand the ball to Pittman and pray for the best. They're in an offset eye, so there's lots of movement here. 3 wide receiver set. Barry is the bottom receiver on your screen. 7 in the box for St. Louis, and Cardell is calling an audible. Let's see if it's going to be a different play. It is a handoff to Pittman. Pittman gets stopped again by Warwick Barber and another linebacker, Jeff Olson. That is great stop. That's a great stop by St. Louis now. This is what they needed. because they're going to get the ball back with plenty of time to go in the fourth. And I know, again, here I go again. I'm saying it again. They need to score on this drive. Every drive count. How about that? I'm just going to say it. I'm going to blanket the statement. From here on out, I know every drive counts for St. Louis. If they don't pick up any points, they're in trouble like they have been all game. Wow, he takes a big hit at the 33-yard line. Made a decent move. Woodyard, I think, did a little stop and go.
Now that's what I like to see. Nice coverage, guy.
Caught this cover team by surprise, and they gotta have some confidence in Te'amu, man. I believe there's the only way that they're gonna win this game.
Man, I don't care what score is. We coming back, baby. It starts right now.
See, I like the fact I know that the St. Louis Battlehawks have confidence in themselves. They have to be. It's the playoffs. They're here. They won out the most important game of the season to get here, and now they're going through the air, and with 2nd and 9 to go, they finally, with 1st and 10, they finally throw the ball. They only pick up a yard. It's just as good as Matt Jones running for 1 yard, so there's no complaint there. But shotgun set, Te'amu's got to start slinging this pill. They just have to. He's got to start throwing dots. There's the handoff again to Matt Jones. Matt Jones gets met immediately, picks up 2. This late in the game, Matt Jones is not going to be the answer. Good stop by Ramirez and company. He has 41 yards on 14 carries. That's not getting the job done. I don't know when the sense of urgency is going to pick up. It sounded like it did in that field pass segment, but for some reason, St. Louis just has not thought about it in their heads. Man, maybe we need to start passing this ball. But they're in a bunch formation here. There is the snap. Te'amu is looking downfield, and he gets met immediately in the backfield for a sack. Another stop by DC, 4th and 13. And St. Louis more than likely will be punting this ball away. Maybe that is the reason why. I mean, I don't know what that right tackle there was thinking. I don't know what he saw. That was Dwayne Lopienski. For some reason, he decided to say, you know what? I'm going to let my man go right on by me. And go ahead and tackle my QB. No big deal. I'm not really worried about it. So now they're punting this ball away. Waswa Edmonds will be the punt returner on this one. And he gets to the 36-yard line, and DC again has good field position.
First and 10. From Desperado, 37-yard.
I-form set for DC. Tyler Pittman is the deep back. St. Louis is definitely ready for the run because you got to believe that DC is going to just try and bleed the clock as much as possible. They have a 16-0 lead, and Pittman probably gets the biggest gain of the day, 8-yard gain on that one, and he had men draped all over his back, and he just said, "Get off me, bro! You're not gonna stop me before I pick up these 8 yards." So we're getting to the halfway point of this quarter, so there'll be 5 minutes to go in this game. St. Louis is going to have to make some stops here to get the ball back with plenty of time. And it's still, in my theory, a 2-possession game. Oh, handoff to the fullback. And they get him. They don't give him the first down on that one. 3rd and inches. That was an awkward run because he was trying to fight off Flemings. But Flemings was like, nah, you're not going any further than this. 3rd and inches now. This is a big down.
Everybody ready? It's going to be Jokers. Weak toss. Look alive, baby.
It is going to be a big drive, a big defensive stop here on this down. So they called Jokers weak toss. So that means you will see a toss play to the left side. That's the bottom of your screen. Can St. Louis make a stop here? They look like they're ready for the run. I believe that's 9 in the box. There is a snap, hand off to Pittman, who goes all the way to the outside, stopped before they can get to the line of scrimmage. That was Flemings, the defensive end, once again on the stop. He has come up big on this drive here, and now St. Louis will get the ball on the DC punt. They weren't able to pick up the first down there. Well, they did bleed off a minute of clock. So with that being said, they're giving St. Louis less time to make anything happen here. So 4:07 to go. By the time St. Louis gets the ball, it'll be under 4 minutes of play. There's a snap. That's a high punt. Doesn't get buku yards, but hey, they're returning it, and they only get to the 20-yard line. Good kick coverage by special teamer Albright. I mean, he does it all for DC. And with 4 minutes to go, I'm not saying it. You heard me say it about 3 minutes ago. You know what I'm talking about. I'm not saying it again. You're not going to make me say it. I'm not going to say it. 16-0 game.
It's going to be gun. Split spread, 50x speed over.
So they're going to sit in the gun. This is an absolute pass play here. Teyamu needs to start converting some downs through the air. Matt Jones is not going to get it done this late in the game. They got to be in the hurry-up form. They got to be in their 4-minute offense. Shotgun set. There is the snap. Matt Jones goes out to the flat. It is thrown, and it's bobbled incomplete to the fullback, Drayton Luke. 2nd and 10. And this seems to be the problem for St. Louis. I mean, Teyamu, it's not all Teyamu's fault. Teyamu's throwing a pick. Yes, that is very true.
2nd and 10.
Look alive on this one.
But his team, his wide receivers, his tight ends, his running backs, they failed him. They keep dropping these passes that are easy, and most other players in the league, most other skilled players would be catching with ease. Teyamu is back again in the gun. It is caught this time, but only for a gain of 5 before he's tackled by 2 guys. 5-yard gain on that pickup. 3rd and 5, and now it's another 3rd down for St. Louis, and another tough decision for the coaching staff on what they'll do here. If they hand this ball to Matt Jones, they have to be out of their minds. They have to be throwing this ball on all downs from here on out. It's a 2-possession game if they convert 2-point conversions on every touchdown drive. But in order to get there, they've got to score, and they haven't been able to do that for 36 minutes. We have 4 minutes left in this game. And that was a conversion for a 1st down. Good job there, and here they go. They're now in their hurry-up offense. Teyamu's under center. They're in an empty back set, 4 wide with 1 tight end in. DC is ready for the pass. They got 2 linebackers with 4 down linemen. That's 6 in the box. There is the snap. He takes the deep drop back, throws it over on the post pattern towards the numbers. Complete pass. That is another 1st down. This is what St. Louis needed. Now they're looking like the St. Louis team that has been playing all season long. Empty set again. They remain in the same formation. 3:09 to go in the game. Now DC goes out in a dime set. Quick throw to the outside. It is caught, and that will stop the clock. That saves St. Louis a timeout with 3:02 to go. That is a gain of 4. Now, that's all well and good that they're picking up yards on every play, but they need to attack downfield. They can't afford to run out of time, especially when they need to get crucial 2-point conversions on both attempts to get this to a tie game. Shotgun set for Teyamu. There is the snap. He takes it, drops back. Looking over the middle once again. That is knocked away. Great defense there by Lane. Lane just stuck his hand out there and knocked it away. That's 6 targets for Parks. He dropped the ball once, and that ball was knocked away. So he's been pretty efficient for St. Louis. Maybe that's who Teyamu needs to target a lot more in these last 3 minutes of the game if they want to get any touchdowns here. Shotgun set again. Again, you got to believe that they're passing for the rest of this game. Running the ball will do them nothing. It'll be counterproductive as they're playing against the clock as well. 9 seconds to go on the play clock. There is the snap. Teyamu is dropping back. He's got pressure up front. And he decides to take off himself, but slides before the 1st down marker. You got to have the IQ to know you need a 1st down this late in the game, and you cannot slide before the line of scrimmage. I know you're trying to protect yourself, but this might be your very last game. This might be your very last drive on the field. You got to play your heart out here. But here they go. 4th down. They are going for it. Shotgun set. This is the big drive. I mean, this is the biggest down of the game for St. Louis right now. There is the snap. Can Teyamu make something work? He does. Gets it over to his tight end. That is Jeb Schaefer on the catch. They're down to the DC 25 with 20 seconds before the 2-minute warning. Can they get a playoff before there's the snap? Teyamu is looking. Throws it out to the right. Matt Jones picks it up. Doesn't get anywhere. Back to the line of scrimmage. They're hurrying up. I think they want to try and get another play off before the 2-minute warning. They have 5 seconds to do so. There is the snap again to Teyamu. Teyamu is looking downfield. Goes to the left. It is caught to a wide open man. But he fumbles the ball. But the ball goes out of bounds before anybody can pick it up. St. Louis is extremely lucky on that play. I believe that was Parks on the reception again. Tries to spin away from a defender. Loses the ball. DC had 2 guys touch it. but nobody was able to fall on it inside of the white lines. Ball goes out of bounds at the 12-yard line. It stays St. Louis ball. Now, if that was by the grace of God or some craziness right there, they're going to have to score on this one. They'll repay the man. Shotgun set. It is thrown towards the corner of the end zone. One hand grab, and there it is. Touchdown, St. Louis. We have ourselves a ball game. Antoine Albright on the reception. And yes, he's another guy on both teams. I have no control over that. He's suited up. He's got jerseys on both sides. There's a lot of guys playing a lot of football for both of these teams. But nonetheless, touchdown for St. Louis. And now it's a 16-6 game, but they need to get a 2-point conversion here to make it a one-possession game. This is another big down for St. Louis. Can Te'amu and company be clutch and get a 2-point conversion on this one? 4 wide set in this one. An empty backfield. He's got 5 receivers to his options. Te'amu takes a quick drop back, dumps it to Schaefer. That is a 2-point conversion. And with 1:51 to go in the game, it is now a one-possession game. Now, St. Louis has options here as we get the replay here right on the tight end dump. Great ball by Te'amu to make it look real easy for the 2-point conversion. I was going to say they can punt it deep and play defense, but as you see here, they're going to attempt the onside kick right now. And if they get this, then they have a great chance to tie this ball game up. I think St. Louis is waiting to the end of the game for the dramatics. That was a poor onside kick. Goes to DC with ease. They will have the ball at the 43-yard line. But, again, St. Louis still has all 3 of their timeouts. They're going to have to play good defense because you got to believe DC is going to run the ball for the rest of this game. They got to play good D, not allow Pittman to pick up a first down, and they'll get the ball back within and have a shot at tying this game up. Offset I-form set for the DC defenders. 1:49 to go in the game. Oh, they took Cardell Jones out. Pittman is the man that is going to carry this team for the rest of the game. And on the first carry, not good news for St. Louis. He picks up 9 yards, and they are 1 yard away from pretty much negating all of St. Louis's chances. If they get a first down here, they force St. Louis to call another timeout. It'll be too many downs to timeouts, and it'll be over.
You heard the man.
Hampton and Grant, the secondary, the 2 starting corners for St. Louis, is saying, man, we got to stop them here. I said their downs on offense were big. This is a big down for the D of St. Louis. They've been playing decent, but they've given up 16 points. If they give up this first down here, it is a wrap. I love the fact that DC pulled Cardell, allowed Jay McDaniel to come in the game. Pittman gets the first down with ease, not touched until after, and that will pretty much do it. And it's now all a technicality. DC will run the ball one more time. St. Louis will call timeout. They'll run it again on 2nd and whatever, and the clock will continue to tick. They'll run it again on 3rd, continue to kick, and they're close enough where if they want to spread the lead even more, they'll kick a field goal and pretty much put the game out of reach for St. Louis. Oh, they said, you know what, screw it. They're just going to kneel the ball. Forget running. They're going to kneel it. St. Louis will take their final timeout of the game. And like I said, it is technically over. So congratulations to the DC Defenders. They are your first team that will be representing the East in the XFL Championship next Sunday, April 26th at 3 p.m. Who will they play? Will they play the red-hot LA Wildcats, who is led by Josh Johnson and Nelson the Spruce's Lou Spruce? Or will they face PJ Walker and company, the Houston Roughnecks, who have been one of the best teams in the league all season long with an 8-2 record? And those 2 that are playing tomorrow, they have the top 2 records in the league. So if you were to break it down by record-wise, Houston is the top seed with 8-2. Then you would have LA at 7-3. Then DC would be the third place team with 6-4, and St. Louis at 5-5. I wish the XFL did it that way instead of East and West. You would have had a matchup of St. Louis against Houston, and you would have seen LA take on DC. I think that would have been a lot better. But I think they did that in the first rendition of the XFL and didn't want to confuse people here. So there is the last down, and I mean, the kick. You got to believe the kick team's coming out here because there's still going to be 18 seconds left. So This kick is actually a little more important than normal. This is a 50-yard field goal attempt. If DC does not kick it here and make this kick, then St. Louis will take over at their own 40-yard line, and we'll have about 18 seconds to make some magic happen. And I've seen crazier things. You guys have seen it with Dallas beating Houston. Crazier things have happened in the XFL. So this is a big kick here. If he makes this, the ball game's over. If not, St. Louis has a chance. There is the snap. Good hold. Kick is up. Kick is good. Barely gets over the bar. Just enough. 50-yard field goal. And that will put the game out of reach. St. Louis does not have enough time. They decided to play good football just a little too late. And like I said, that barely sneaks over the bar. Hey, 50-yarder nonetheless. It went over the uprights. 19-8 game. Again, congratulations to the defenders. They will win this ball game and head to the championship. This is exactly what they wanted. They were the top team pretty much. They were going back and forth with this team here, St. Louis, early on. But then after St. Louis had their skid, they remained as the number 1 team in the East. And they are holding on to that by picking up a win here. Washington brings it out to the 28-yard line. And with 12 seconds left to go in the game, it's just academic here. There's nothing that St. Louis can do to even try and win this game. So, tough turn of events for St. Louis. Nonetheless, they played their hearts out. They had a tough skid where they lost a few games straight and almost didn't make the playoffs. But they did what they needed to do to get here. And the ball didn't bounce their way. Great toss there right there. But again, that'll be it. That'll be the last play of the game. That'll do it. They played their hearts out. They did not falter. Even though they didn't play the way that they wanted to, they lose the game 19-8. Congratulations to the DC Defenders. Please enjoy this post-game show brought to you by Onslaught Multimedia, the creators of the Blast podcast.
Over bees, baby.
And your Onslaught Multimedia Player of the Game, Raymond Berry, 7 catches, 139 yards, and 1 touchdown. I mean, look at that yards per catch, 19.9 yards. And it got the job done, and it sent the Defenders to the XFL Championship. So let's take a look at the bracket. The DC Defenders have defeated the St. Louis Battlehawks, and they will be in the championship game. They will face the winner of the Houston Roughnecks and the LA Wildcats. That is tomorrow at 3 p.m. We will see you there. Thank you for watching the first playoff game of the XFL on the Last Life Gaming Network. We will see you tomorrow.